and here we are.
It is not our responsibility to fix something they spent years intentionally trying to destroy. Unity can only happen in a country when you have a people who agree on what the outcome should be.
Well. Happy Thursday. What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Can we do a tech check to make sure that we're where we're supposed to be?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Folks, this was a first. SK showed up before Nom today.
Yeah.
And it totally screwed up the entire arrangement of our screen. And I had to kind of switch them around a little bit. Like she was early.
I don't see us live on Rumble.
Okay, let me go over there. Let me check. Rumble usually takes a couple seconds for it to get moving. We're up. I see us on Rumble. All right, we're good on Rumble. I know I can see us over on YouTube, and people are chatting. Some of y'all were early today over on YouTube. Some of you guys were early, and there's a couple folks that were mad at us in the comments. Did you see that?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it, but when I put my little teaser video out, I told everybody, I was like, PatriotDad got wrangled into operating a high school soccer game concession stand.
Yeah. So PatriotLad had a soccer game tonight. It's his last home game in the stadium. He's got another game on Saturday, but he had a soccer game. And my beautiful bride, Patriot Mom, decided to sign us up to do the concession stand. And I'm like, honey, I have a podcast to do. And then to make things worse, and we're praying for the young man, someone got hurt at the very end of the game, and they actually had to end the game with about 5 minutes left. They had to call a squad. Wasn't anything like life-threatening. I think he like blew out his knee or something. So we should have been home like 20 minutes earlier, but we're all sitting around waiting for them to make a decision on whether they're going to call the game. But nonetheless, we're here and we're on time because there's a little bit of like sharp edge to me. I was actually thinking about starting at 10:01 instead of 10 o'clock, but calmer minds and hearts prevailed, and we decided to be here at 10, which is what we had set up for. So we're here and we are ready to go. But I'll tell you this, none of us had any idea what the heck we were going to talk about today about 4 hours ago. And of course, Nom has been working his tail off to cover for the fact that I had to go sling a bunch of hot dogs. Did I mention that not only did we have to work the concession stand, but it was dollar hot dog night?
Oh,
I mean,
they have Coney dogs?
No, you get
no
mustard,
Coney dogs.
You get mustard, you get ketchup, and that's about it. Mustard, ketchup.
Do you have any onions or and relish? Nothing like
there.
None of
I
that?
think there's like a bottle of relish you can squirt on there if you want. But I think we probably sold like 1,000 freaking hot dogs. It was gross, but I ate a few myself because they're actually pretty good. All right, we're here. We've got what I think is going to be a fun show tonight. We're going to do another one. Did you guys see what I titled this tonight? I titled this Rapid Fire Chaos.
No. No.
What do you mean?
I disagree. No.
What do you mean?
That is not the title. I did the outline, and the title on the outline is very different from that.
Well,
the title on the outline says President Peacemaker infuriates the left again, because he did. He solved another war that the auto pen and Kamala, and I do say that Kamala depends who she's talking to. If she's, back in her Indian roots where she claimed her Indian heritage before.
Her name is Kamala.
It's Kamala. Now it's Kamala. It used to be Kamala.
It's comma, like in a sentence, and law,
anyway,
like law.
It's
Kamala. Do you think they could have solved any of this? Of course they could, because they didn't. But the Peacemaker did.
Remember when they said that on the stage?
Mm-hmm.
Those kids, they had those kids come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't. What? Remind me. They said her name is spelled.
It was on the stage. I think it was during the DNC, maybe. Yeah, and I think it was like her niece or somebody that was related to her came out and said her name is Kamala, comma, like in a sentence, and law, like la.
These people are idiots.
Then why did she used to call herself Kamala?
Yeah, I don't know.
She did. Anyway, I digress. The title
so
of the show
I can see us on
President
X too, by the way. Okay,
Title
President
of the show is
Peacemaker.
President Peacemaker infuriates the left again. Okay.
So you have a SOT that we're supposed to look at. Should we pull that
sound
up
on tape? Let's do it. Let's get going.
We got a SOT. By the way, folks, I'm just going to warn you because I was slinging hot dogs all night. I have no idea what we're doing tonight. I have the outline here. So I'm just going to be the peanut gallery. I'm just going to have some fun. Nom is going to kind of tell me what to do, and I'm going to push the buttons. And I'm just going to try to look pretty. Actually, can we do something first? Can we do something first? Because I think Patriot Dad needs to take a bit of a victory lap. If you guys are okay with this.
Yes.
Can I take a victory lap? Are you guys all right with that? I got to show you something. So you guys might remember a few days ago, Patriot Dad put out this video. And it's only about 1.5 minutes. So I need you to bear with me for 1.5 minutes. Nom, I promise you I'll take like 5 minutes. That's it. All right. So Patriot Dad put out this video on my TikTok account. And I asked everybody within the sound of my voice to spread it.
That's who they picked for the Super Bowl halftime show? No, no. We are not participating. My household will not be participating in that halftime show. Did you know that you have the ability to determine the type of music that gets pumped into the hearts and minds of your kids? Did you know that? We're not participating. And I know that there are tens of millions of households out there just like ours. So I need you to do me a favor. I need this video to make it all the way around social media, because it needs to land in front of several key people.
You mean Josiah Queen and Forrest Frank?
Yeah, Josiah Queen, Forrest Frank, and Turning Point USA. Yay! We have to come up with an alternate solution for reasonable households to have something to turn to during the Super Bowl halftime show. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Share this video across every social media platform you have. I need this video to land in front of Josiah Queen, who's probably one of the most important young Christian artists in America, and Forrest Frank, who my kids will not stop talking about. They absolutely love his music. If we can get Turning Point USA to organize an event with those two incredible artists, it will fundamentally transform the direction of an entire generation. Right, honey?
Please, please, please.
You heard her. Get this video in front of Forrest Frank, Josiah Queen, and Turning Point USA.
We need them.
Okay.
I mean, how can you ignore that beautiful face back there? Well, folks, I mean, nobody has actually said that this video made it in front of the people that I mentioned, but I don't know if you saw this. Did you see this?
I did.
Turning
I think I
Point
sent it to you.
USA, you did. Turning Point USA just announced today that they are in fact going to be doing an alternate halftime show celebrating faith, family, and freedom. February 8th, 2026. The American Halftime Show.com. Go to that website, the American Halftime Show.com, because you can fill out a form and they'll keep you updated. And they also give you an opportunity to vote on the type of music that you want. Now, the only piece of this puzzle that I'm still waiting on is to make sure that Forrest Frank and Josiah Queen are on the list of people that are going to be performing, because they better be, because they are incredible.
Hold on.
And you said one more too. Creed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Creed. Hello.
All right. We can do Creed.
Yeah. Creed. Hello.
We can do Creed, but I'm telling you right now, those are probably two of the most influential young Christian artists in America today. If you have not heard Creed, if you have not listened to Josiah Queen, it's incredible. My family found Josiah Queen about 3 years ago when he was still playing coffee shops and like summer music festivals. But his music is, it's different. It's Christian music with a banjo.
Oh, dude, you put a banjo in any song I'm in. I am absolutely in.
He's got a banjo in every song. Every song.
Sign me up. I'm going to check it out.
Anyway, that's my victory lap. Go ahead, Nom, take it away. We have a video.
We did.
Oh, let me get that. I'll get that. Introduce what we're talking about here.
So, I mean, we went to bed last night and woke up this morning to the president peacemaker, the peacemaker in chief, essentially ending the war in Israel and Gaza, which coming into today, I would have thought, the Free Palestine crew would have been incredibly happy about, but I haven't seen them anywhere. Have any of you guys seen the Free Palestine crew out there congratulating Peacemaker President Trump for ending the so-called genocide in Gaza?
The one that they've been protesting about and screaming about, and getting all these people together to try to stop, and then it stopped, and there's nothing. Crickets.
There's nothing. In fact, they're ready to move on to their next protest. They just don't know what it's going to be yet because they haven't been told what they're supposed to protest next.
Exactly.
That's why we've got about a day and a half or 2 days of lull of protest before someone tells them what they need to go and which the new flag they have to pick up is going to be. So, but
they're going to go harder on anti-ICE, and they're probably going to do the whole impeach Trump thing.
So Nom, you have this set as SOT 1, but I don't see a SOT 1 in the folder. I see a SOT 2 and 3 and 4 and 6 and 7 and 8 and on and on. But I don't see a SOT 1. You might have not named this right.
Play SOT 2, whatever's in there.
All right, let's see what this is.
Well, I started.
This is what happens when you're. This is what happens
to grow. Jay Jones is facing pressure to drop out of the race.
That's not even close to SOT. That's not even close to SOT 2 either.
We need it. We need it. You guys talk. I'm going to find this one because I know what you're talking about.
That's my fault. I thought that he said I got it, so I didn't start.
Yes, you did say.
This is what happens when your wife schedules concession stand duty.
You said I got it.
You did say you got it. We thought you put that in there.
No, I said I got the other two that you were talking about.
Anyway, all right. So,
that's my fault. I'm sorry.
So I have a working theory about. I mean, listen. I want to try to get in the head of Hamas, right? And I want to try to understand and try to wrap my brain around why Hamas is an organization. Why they would launch the attack that they launched on Israel the way that they did. Very indiscriminately. I mean, just went in there, just absolute mayhem. And no rhyme or reason, just attacked, raped, killed, whoever they found, babies, women, old people, young people. They took hostages. They knew that they would not actually be able to get away with this. I mean, they knew that. They knew that Israel was going to have the reaction that they had. My working theory on this is pretty basic. Did they do that, and did they sacrifice the lives of all of the Palestinians knowing the reaction that they were going to get from Israel? The hopes that if Israel overreacted, that the entire world would then turn on Israel and take Israel out of the picture?
Yes.
Was the entire goal of this to create a genocide against Israel and Jews to begin with?
This has been their entire goal all along. This is the reason why Hamas hides all of their terror networks, their tunnels and everything under public areas, under hospitals and schools and playgrounds. This is their plan. This is their strategy. It's to create, they know they can never win an actual kinetic war against anybody, but that's not how they fight. They fight propaganda because they know they have allies all over the globe, in the United Nations, particularly here in the United States, who will lie through their ever-loving teeth to prop that terrorist organization up. You got to remember, this is a territory that literally elected a terrorist group as their government.
Not only that, these kids are raised. Like, I can add it if I need to, but there are declassified CIA documents from 2012 with like pictures of their school books and the things that these kids are taught in these Palestinian refugee camps. And they're literally taught from the time they start school that they live for revenge and return. And their charter for Hamas literally says that they have to kill all the Jews.
All right, I got it. It was in the folder the whole time. It just wasn't labeled properly.
No,
I'm sorry.
I got it. No, I'm actually going to take the blame on this one because I put it in the folder.
President Trump has actually pulled off something here that many presidents before him have failed to do.
Just need to underscore what an enormous moment this is for so many people in this region, for the people of Gaza who have endured 2 years of war, for the families of these 48 remaining hostages who have endured 2 years of absolute agony. This is a watershed moment.
We've heard it again and again from a number of people today, really giving credit to President Trump for getting this deal over the finish line. What are you hearing from your sources with regard to President Trump's role in getting both parties to sign off on at least the first phase of this peace plan?
Well, certainly this is an enormous moment for the world, but also for this administration, a big win for the president, who has been very personally involved in this, Lindsay.
Is a major accomplishment for President Trump, something that he's been really trying to work toward. There's been a lot of critics and questioning of whether or not he could pull off sort of negotiating and working to try to get all these sides together. Of course, there were a lot of nations involved. So this is, of course, not just a victory for President Trump, but really a number of Arab nations, Hamas, and of course, Israel. But this is really huge news, and the president, of course, announcing it online.
So what do you make of what the president has said in a social media post, that they've signed off on the first phase of the peace plan? What does that mean to you?
Anderson, momentous day. There's not much good news in the world. This is great news. I am trying to hold it together, honestly. Worked on this issue a very long time.
The deal that President Trump is announcing played a key part in negotiating. It is a significant change. This war was blocked for 2 years. President Biden, who preceded him, was unable to find a way to stop it. President Trump found that way by being tough on both sides. And he'll take a victory lap for sure over the next few days, but it's deserved. There's no way that I can see that this would have been done without Trump's pressure in the final hours.
So the reason why that
Scarborough, did you see Joe Scarborough?
Yeah.
He looked like he was about ready to jump out of his skin.
Yeah, they all hated Dad to say that. Every one of them. But they cannot ignore the absolute fact that no president ever, or any world leader anywhere else, has ever been able to accomplish in the Middle East what President Trump has been able to accomplish in the Middle East. And it took 3 people that the left absolutely hate: President Trump, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner, to get that done.
They hate Jared Kushner.
Oh, they hate Jared Kushner. They absolutely hate Jared Kushner. I mean,
I have a problem.
He looks a little soft, in my opinion, but
I have a problem.
But no other president. I mean, Joe Biden. The entire reason that happened to begin with was because we had an auto pen, and then we had a useless person, DEI hire, Kamala Harris, who they knew they could get away with it, and they knew that they would have the backs of the terrorists, and they wouldn't have the backs of Israel for any meaningful way.
I'm not buying it. I am not buying the media's fawning all over Donald Trump today. I'm not buying it for a second. And here's why.
He'll be done tomorrow. He'll be done with it tomorrow.
Well, here's my problem. I think that these people are just waiting for Hamas or Israel to screw this up down the road so that they can look at Donald Trump and be like, you blew this up. And there ain't no way those talking heads who have done nothing but try to destroy Donald Trump personally, financially, politically, all of the people surrounding him, like that is literally their entire life goal, is to destroy these people. There is no way that they are actually legitimately coming out and say Donald Trump gets the credit for this. They are banking on something coming down the road that they can turn around and smack him with.
They are but more importantly, they do not, at the end of the game, they do not want to have to admit that 3 people who have not had entire lengthy decades-long careers and build themselves as the Middle East experts and the experts on foreign policy and the United Nations and the State Department, and this is what we do. They built their entire career, their entire treasure, their entire wealth on their foreign policy expertise, that they could never figure out what the real estate developer could figure out how to do.
I just found this in the folder. What the heck is that?
That's the best. That's the best. I love it.
Hitler brings peace to Israel.
Yeah.
Babylon Bee is so funny. So this is going to be fun because there's stuff in this folder that I don't know what's in there. So I may just throw some crap up on the screen from time to time.
So hold on, right? Because that Hitler analogy is really actually very interesting. I did a video today, and I was going to put it up in there, but it's pretty lengthy. And it was a kid who was interviewing one of the Free Palestine protesters about a year ago or whatever. I think it was in the streets of New York City. And he actually got this Free Palestine protester to admit that what Hitler did was a good thing, except he wasn't efficient enough, and that he was giving tips in modern era, how you could be more efficient at killing more Jews faster, because they should all be killed.
These people are
was
lunatics.
Yes, that
They're
is
monsters.
what the Free Palestine group really meant. So the reason you don't hear from the Free Palestine group today, the reason they're not celebrating the end of the genocide, is because they're actually really upset that they didn't get the genocide they wanted, which was Intifada from the river to the sea. That's the genocide they wanted, and they're upset they didn't get that.
These people are lunatics. Absolute lunatics. But, I mean, it's taken Donald Trump 9 months. How many wars has this guy stopped? Has he put an end to?
8 now.
8
Yep.
conflicts
Yep.
have been put to rest under this administration. The president that the left promised you was going to start World War III has ended 8 wars in not even 10 months.
He really wants that peace prize, like really bad. I still want to know what it is that he said to Israel and Palestine to make them agree to this. I wonder if he's like, you just have to wait until I get my peace prize.
No, I think we have an idea of what he said to both of them, right? I mean, he said to Bibi, he said, listen, because there's polling. Megyn Kelly was talking about this earlier today. There's very significant polling that's showing that support for Israel among anyone in the U.S. under the age of 35 was almost zero at this point. Conservative, Democrat, far left, far right. They were losing the support of America. So Hamas's ultimate goal when they started this was actually working.
Oh, yeah.
They were getting to the point where the entire world was getting ready to turn their ire on Israel for this. And I think he convinced them. He said, listen, you don't have a choice but to do this. And then he looked at Hamas and he said, listen, if you guys don't do this, they're just going to level you, and I'm going to step aside and I'm going to let them just destroy all of you. And I think that's how that conversation went. Yeah.
That's the right approach. Look, let's talk about reality on the ground here, particularly in the United States. The bottom line is that there are tens of millions of us who are asking the exact same question right now about Israel. And Israel is going to have to figure out how to answer it, which is, we have been the best friend to Israel for decades, but are they a friend to the United States? And until, I don't know, probably a year ago, I think I could affirmatively say they were. I don't know if I can say that anymore. And people are asking that question. And it's about time that the government, the secular government in Israel, realize that Americans are questioning whether or not they're actually our friends. That's just the bottom line. That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in your outline, Nom, you take us to a totally different topic, which I think is going to be the most fun. Have you guys seen the current crop of Democrat candidates that are running around? Have you seen these people? What?
They are racist. They are violent. They are mean. They're angry.
Holy
they are
crap.
very self-entitled. They're a mess. They're a disaster. And we're going to have fun with them for a little bit.
I mean, they make it so easy. This Abigail Spanberger is, it's like straight up pure racism coming out of her campaign. It is straight up unadulterated racism coming from her campaign.
The reason why this topic is so important, hold on, before you move into it, the reason why this topic is so important is because early voting in Virginia has started already, right? So you got 6 weeks of early voting. And one of the problems we have with early voting is you could find out something absolutely horrendous about your candidate a week after you already voted, and you're screwed. You can't go and get your vote back. It's already gone. It's cast, right? Which is exactly what the Democrats are trying to do right now with almost all of their candidates, especially in Virginia. They're going to be like, get your vote in, because there's a lot more shit coming out about these people.
Can I ask a question really quick?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
When you get a security clearance, does it usually take a really long time to get approved for that security clearance?
Oh, yeah. Well, it depends on the level, but I mean, even a secret will take you, a couple of weeks to a couple of months. The top secret could take,
but not
very
4
long time,
years. 4 years?
A TS could, well, no, unless you've got some very significant issues. We know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it could take 4 years.
Took her,
probably
it took
6
her
months.
4.
6 months is probably reasonable.
It took her 4 years to get clearance when she applied for a job at the CIA.
Well, I mean, they're probably doing SCI compartmentalized stuff, which goes even beyond top secret. I mean, generally, when you have a secret clearance and then you need a TS for the job that you're going, you'll get an interim TS, and then they will start the the investigation on you, and that could take 4 to 6 months, I would imagine. But getting into SCI compartmentalized stuff, that may take 4 years, probably not, but a year sounds reasonable to me.
It took her 4 years. She waited tables and did all these other odd jobs while she was waiting, and she applied for a job at the CIA. They didn't come after her, and that's weird because
Who
they
applies
usually
for a job at the CIA?
exactly.
I didn't even know
Especially
that
for
was
what
a
she was
thing. I thought
I
like
think
CIA would like tap you from other roles and
like
be like,
when you're a
"Oh,
kid.
You guys
come over
listen,
here."
the CIA, like 0.5% of the CIA are like actual like field officers
I
and
know.
field
I'm
agents.
just
The rest
joking.
of them are pushing paper around. All right.
She was.
Now, what is this? Do you
This
guys
is
remember seeing this sign? This sign right
yeah.
here? Do you guys remember that? Where it says, "Hey,
Yeah.
Winsome, if trans can't share your bathroom, then blacks can't share my water fountain." Who is that? That's pretty racist.
That's incredibly racist. So that was an old white liberal woman, probably has 35 cats in her house. The reason that
Actually, she
listen,
doesn't. You know how I know that?
how?
Because this is actually a woman who's paid to protest. And I can't remember I
Yeah.
have the images and the graphics, but she's been photographed in protest all over the country, down
Yeah.
in Texas, and now she's part of this Abigail Racist Ladies campaign. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mashed a couple of different images here together because there's a very significant racism problem and violence problem and the Spanberger campaign. So that old racist woman right there, hey, Winsome, if trans can't use your bathroom, then blacks can't use my water fountain. That was an unpaid volunteer, but also paid to protest. But the problem with that is that's Winsome Sears at the very top. Her response, I had to cut it off in the little collage. The Democrat elites, the top of the party in Virginia, they actually were saying that this was Winsome Sears' problem. That the reason why that sign came out was because of the cabal and the messaging that was coming from Winsome Sears. Did we lose Patriot Dad? Is Patriot Dad gone?
What is going on? Like while that picture was up, my headphones like fell off my head. I was trying to fix them, and then I
We
look
just
up
lost
and
Patriot Dad.
Patriot Dad's gone.
Yeah, we're going to keep going as long as we can because he's got all of the images and videos. Well, text him and tell him to get back in here because we don't have a show without him. We're going to have to make it up.
Oh my God, what is going on right now? He said he has no idea what happened.
Well, he probably got kicked off the internet.
All right, we can do this. We've got this.
Yeah.
Well,
we don't have any imagery. We have no SOTs. We have no images. Yeah, we are.
Do you have the key to the liquor cabinet? Because the parents are gone.
No. So that's that happened like 2 months ago, right? This old white lady and her out. So for folks you don't know, the current lieutenant governor in the state of Virginia is a black woman. She's a former Marine. She's a veteran, and obviously whatever. So you've got a white woman candidate running against Winsome Sears, who's now running to be the governor of Virginia, and that's like one of the first things that she's encounters there when she's out campaigning is this obviously racist sign that comes out of there, and then this Mark Broklowski or whatever. He comes up there and he's trying to defend the old lady holding this. He says, what happened in Arlington wasn't just about a meeting. It was about the climate Winsome Sears is creating, one where contempt is currency and neighbors are turned against each other. He literally blamed Winsome Sears for turning neighbors against each other that caused that sign to be printed and held up at a campaign event.
These people are insane. They're actually insane. But I feel like this stuff that's going on with Abigail Spanberger, I feel like this is like a part of the broader issue that's going on with Democrats right now. I think this is consistent across the board. And, I think they're struggling with these cultural hot button issues and they are not handling it well at all. And I think being a purple state, Virginia could go either way. And I think this is going to lose it for the Democrats, especially when you pile on the government shutdown and how the Democrats are standing so firm on this shutdown.
Yeah, well, that's connected to a number of things. So Patriot Dad's texting. He's saying he can hear us. He just can't seem to get back in here. So we're gonna have to tell him which side or which picture we're on, and we're just gonna have to wing it. I don't know if you've got the outline in front of you. Maybe I'll just drive it, folks. This is live. This is live, and this has just turned into a total circus, total crap show. But we're going to keep going. So down here at the bottom, right? So shortly after we get that incredibly racist thing that comes out of the Abigail Spanberger campaign, and Abigail Spanberger never actually addressed this publicly that I know of. I think this old woman was asked, please don't come back. She was an unpaid volunteer. This other one down here, Jasmine Fry, this was a paid campaign staffer, works at Abigail Spanberger's campaign. And this is what she had to say after Charlie Kirk was killed. F around and find out. His entire brand was hate and violence. You attract what you preach. That came the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So that's what's going on in the Abigail Spanberger thing. Patriot Dad, if you could give us picture 2, that would be great. If you could still hear us.
I hope I labeled it right. If I didn't label it right, this is going to be an actual shit show.
This is the one right here. This is it. All right, this is amazing. He can hear us, but he can't seem to get back in. So we get an overtly racist, hey, blacks can't drink from my water fountain thing. Oh, he's coming in. Is he coming up? There he is. Nope, just kidding.
Yeah, no, peekaboo.
So this is actually going on.
This is horse malarkey.
Hey,
total. Absolute horse malarkey.
Hey, we were doing just fine with that. Yeah, just get back in, get in the boat. We're rowing.
Hold on. We're rowing. This is not going to work for me. Hold your horses. You guys keep talking.
Oh no, he's got to fix our spot.
I'm moving. I'm moving stuff. You guys keep going. I'm moving things.
It's like a Rubik's cube. Okay.
We have had no technical issues this entire time. We're on episode 14, and this is the first time that we've ever had I don't know, the ghost of Boogaloo show up and just yank me out of my own StreamYard. This is my stream. All right, sorry, I'm done.
All right. Give me the picture. Give me the picture because this is
you want
big.
The big one. All right, big one.
This just came out today. So this is the messages that the followers of Abigail Spanberger's campaign are sending in to Winsome Sears' campaign. Now, there's a lot of these words that I can't read out loud. Like if you look at the far bottom right one, that, hey, N-word, you should keep your ugly B face off the internet. The last thing this planet needs is some RN lady making Virgin. That's a Spanberger supporter. And then we up the top left is, why does her hair look like a Brillo pad? A black woman for Trump is like a snake-loving mongoose. Remove her from your mailing list. Get me off your effing text. I hope you die, you effing retard. That's the current state of the Spanberger support base in Virginia. So
this is the state of the entire Democrat Party, by the way.
I agree. All right, you can bring that down.
Oh no, is he broken again? Oh, he's back.
No, I'm here. I just am fuming and sorry, go ahead. Wait a minute.
I would like you to
get rearranged again.
Just leave it. I would like you to play SOT 3 because Abigail Spanberger has had opportunities. Actually, no, we're not ready for SOT. We're not ready for that. We need to move over to picture 3.
Picture 3.
We need to go to picture 3 here.
I'm on it.
Because we're going to move on. So that's the top of the ticket. There
in my Virginia race. To try to get myself reconnected, I had to disconnect my mouse. So now I'm using my trackpad here.
I like being on the top, by the way. I like this better.
Let's say we're at picture 3. Jay Jones.
Yeah.
Jay Jones. This is the guy who wants to assassinate people, right?
Yeah, he's the guy that wants to put bullets in the former Speaker of the House or the legislature there in Virginia. These things are just disgusting. I don't even. So this is just unbelievable. And this guy hasn't dropped out. And you know what's even worse? Not a single Democrat has actually asked him to drop out of this race. Not one. I mean, the things that this guy says, I mean, everybody's seen them at this point, but this is the number 3 on the ticket. This guy wants to be the top prosecutor in the entire state of Virginia. And he says that people that don't agree with him should take bullets in the head and their kids. He should actually, they should be forced to watch their kids get killed. And if that's not bad enough, then he says, listen, if you want policing to change, you're going to have to kill more cops. That's the guy that wants to be the top prosecutor in the state of Virginia, Jay Jones.
This is insanity.
And we actually have, we have candidates running for the House of Delegates in Virginia who are openly saying that they still support this guy. They still support.
Oh, they all do. They all do.
It's because they understand that to them, power is the only thing that matters. And they don't care at all about what it takes to get there. They will put literal Hitler-like folks in power as long as they get an extra body in the seat. I mean, you think about for a second, this guy's going to be the chief law enforcement officer in the entire state. Can you imagine what the state of Virginia is going to look like? Can you imagine that? You have the person who is advocating, threatening to put bullets in their political opponent and watch their children die in their arms as the lead, as the chief. I can't wrap my head around how freaking maniacally insane these people are.
I mean, he literally says that people don't change their views until they experience suffering themselves.
I think it's about time for some of these people to experience some very real consequences for this. And
well,
even if
they're not ready to yet.
Even if it's electoral consequences, I don't care.
They're not ready to yet. Ask Abigail Spanberger in SOT 3.
All right, let's go to SOT 3. We're going to pull up SOT 3.
Because she's asked about this.
All right, Abigail Spanberger. What do you got to say about it?
Ms. Spanberger, I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
In fact, it appears that it was those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages for many years.
What did you do about
I learned of these text messages the day that they came out, and I denounced them as soon as I learned of them.
She denounces murder.
And importantly, at this point, as we move forward, the voters now have this information that was withheld for them.
You're running to
presumably for
Ms.
political reasons. But the voters now have the information, and it is up to voters to make an individual choice based on this information.
Ms. Spanberger, I understand what you're saying about the voters, but for you yourself, do you still continue to endorse Jay Jones? 15 seconds, yes or no?
We are all running our individual races. I believe my opponent has said that about her lieutenant governor nominee.
Ms. Earl Sayers,
and it's up to every person to make their own decision. I am running my race to serve Virginia, and that is what I intend to do.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger. We just want to clarify, what you're saying is that as of now, you still endorse Jay Jones as Attorney General.
I'm saying as of now, it's up to every voter to make their own individual decision. I am running for governor. I'm accountable for the words that I say, for the acts that I take, for the policies that I have put out.
Thank you.
I am responsible for the policies I put out and the work I will endeavor to do tirelessly for the people of Virginia.
Thank you, Ms. Spanberger.
A non-answer is an answer. That word salad right there was an answer, and a non-answer is an answer, and that's exactly what that was. She endorses that as long as they keep power.
Monsters.
So she said it there at the end. She's like, I'm running my own campaign. I'm here for the policies I'm putting forward. No, because he's going to potentially be your attorney general. That's the guy that's going to enforce your policies when it comes to the law. And that's this is bring up
all right,
picture 4.
Let's go to picture. Let's look at picture 4 because this is mind-numbing. Well, this is I think the reason why Donald Trump is demanding single-day voting right here.
Yeah. Because what Abigail Spanberger was saying there the entire time was that we're going to leave it up to the people of Virginia to vote on their conscience. But they know that every Democrat in Virginia is going to continue to vote for that man. This is Amanda Pohl. Amanda Pohl is the Chesterfield clerk of courts in Chesterfield, Virginia. And today she put out her ballot showing that she expects everybody in every Democrat in the state of Virginia to make sure they send their ballot in early, send it in now before any other additional information comes out about Jay Jones or potentially Abigail Spanberger. They don't care about any of this. It doesn't mean a thing to them. They just want you to vote. Just vote.
It's a cult. It's a cult. Vote blue no matter who. And they mean that. They mean when you're threatening people, when you're talking about kids being unalived, it doesn't matter. Vote blue no matter who. That's what they're saying.
You know, it would be nice if we could like pretend like this is just an outlier. Like, you know, Jay Jones is just an edge case of the lunatics in the Democrat Party, but he's not, and neither is Abigail Spanberger. I mean, Abigail Spanberger is actually a moderate in their party today compared to some of the other lunatics. Did you guys see this Katie Porter out in California? Have you guys seen her? Did you guys see the interview that she did? She went into a news station and they were interviewing all of the gubernatorial candidates in the Democrat Party for the primary that's coming up. I don't know if you guys saw this. Okay, we're just going to play it because I don't even know how to set this up, except this lady is nuts. And she not only is she a candidate, she is expected to be the Democrat nominee. She's expected to win the Democrat Party primary. Like, she is the one that they are expecting to be in charge of the state of California after the next gubernatorial election. She is the person that they expect to be able to replace beta boy Gavin Newsom. You just got to listen to this. You got to listen to this.
Percent of California voters who you'll need in order to win who voted for Trump.
How would I need them in order to win, ma'am?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're thinking.
In a general election? Yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
You're muted.
Of course I'm muted. Can we stop there for just a second? It may take us a few minutes to get through this 3-minute clip. The sad thing is, she's right. The Democrats in the state of California hate reasonable people so much that they will vote for this lunatic because she's got a D next to her name and because the Democrats in California tell them to. All right, we're going to keep going.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. Mm-hmm. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't.
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates,
what the heck is wrong with this lady?
I wonder what this would score on the dignity index, because we're supposed to be disagreeing better and building bridges, guys.
That is not disagreeing better. This is a woman who is being asked very legitimate questions in a gubernatorial primary, and she's upset because she's being asked actual questions, and it is unnecessarily confrontational. We got more on that.
Do you think you need any of those 40% 98% of California voters to win. And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that.
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
Can you imagine having a governor that just quits when things get tough? Like, this is what you teach your kids when they're in elementary school and they sign up for a sport and then they want to quit. No, you can't quit. You have to keep going. You signed up for this. You have to keep going. And this lady's like, that's it, I quit.
This isn't tough. These are questions. She's being asked questions by our reporter. Like, this isn't tough. This isn't like I've got wildfires all over the state that I can't figure out how to put out. I don't know how to get water to certain locations. And this isn't tough. This is, how do you plan to win? Like, this is basic questions. And she's done. She can't do it. Hold on, there's more.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care.
Follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation, which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative reporter.
Holy moly.
Why does she look like the Trunch Bowl from Matilda?
The what? The Trunch Bowl?
Trunch Bowl. The principal in Matilda.
What? No.
What
the hell's a Trunch Bowl?
The one that grabs a hold of the kids by the braids and spins them around and throws them out the window.
What? Because an investigator.
Now I have to find a picture.
She's upset because a journalist is asking her follow-up questions, and she was expecting a positive experience. Here's the problem: is these Democrats are so freaking weak. They are so pitiful and pathetic because the media has trained them that they don't ever have to answer questions. They're always given softballs. They're given hanging curveballs that they can knock out of the park. And when you push them just a little bit, this is how they respond.
Those were tough questions? What?
Those are tough questions for people that don't know how to answer questions because they've never been forced to answer questions. All right, we could go on.
She's very thin-skinned. Yeah, because there's another one. No, we've seen enough of that. The next one's the best one. Actually, it was supposed to be the first one. That was SOT 4.
Oh, SOT 4. All right, well, let's get SOT 4. All right,
because this one here, this will tell you who she really is.
Yeah, this will tell you.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay.
This lady is out of control.
Did she stop an actual interview and yell at the person?
It was a recorded interview.
It was recorded.
It's a recorded interview because at the end of it, she's like, "Okay, we're going to start it over again."
Yep.
She stopped.
She said, "Okay, I'm going to start back at blah blah blah," because they edit this stuff. They don't do anything unedited.
Mm-hmm.
Why
so she has apparently a 65%. She's got a 65% turnover rate in her office. Nobody wants to work for her.
She seems like a joy to work for.
It's that low. Kamala Harris had a 92% turnover rate as the vice president.
That should tell you even more.
Jasmine Crockett is constantly being accused of mistreatment of her staffers. And we've got Katie Porter here, who Katie, I'm going to mess this up forever. Katie Porter here is screaming at her staffers to get out of her effing shot. Like, this is the person who is leading the Democrat Party in the state of California. Maybe California Democrats realize that they've lived under too many years of an absolute beta boy and beta boy Newsom, and they're trying to find some real, or what they perceive to be testosterone, and it happens to be coming from Katie Porter.
Now pull up a picture of the Trunchbull. I put it in the Dropbox.
Oh, you just put a Trunchbull. All right, I have to see what she's.
There's two. I put two pictures.
For you guys in the comments. I apologize. I haven't done a very good job of acknowledging your awesomeness today, but I'm just barely hanging on with the thread with the technology. So switching from screen to screen hasn't been that great of a. But anyway, nonetheless, you're going to get a chance to see what is this Trunchbull? You have two of them. Which one should I pick? One or two?
Whichever one you want.
All right, let's look at number 2. I've never seen this.
You can't tell me she doesn't look like that. She's enormous next to that lady. It's almost like a cartoon.
I'm going to start again with
Hold on. We're going to pause it. We don't care what you have to say. We just need to compare. We're going to compare. All right, there's Katie Porter, and there is, what's her name?
Trunchbull, Mrs. Trunchbull.
Mrs.
She's
Trunchbull.
the principal. She's the principal.
Holy crap. Mrs. Trunchbull is Katie Porter. All right. What? I hope you guys are having fun because I'm having a blast. These are my favorite shows where we're just like ripping these people apart because it's easy and it's fun. All right, what's next? What do we got next?
We've got a serious topic next. So I mean, listen, we've got to sort of put a bow on that. I mean, that's the current crop of like the top echelon of the Democrat Party. That's who they are. You've got racism, you've got absolute over the top, violence, calling for people to be shot and killed, kids to die, and then you've got Katie Porter, who I think by all accounts is very loved by the Democrat Party. Like she is like one of the intellectual leaders of the Democrat Party, by the way.
She seems super intellectual and also very kind. I bet she's a joy to work with.
There was a bunch of other pictures of this lady. I think we'll maybe come back to that later because there's other things. It's not just this. I mean, there are a ton of stuff of her captured on camera, just acting like a total monster. Like what is it about these people that just turns them into complete and total monsters?
They're miserable. Have you seen any happy Democrats? They all look miserable.
They do.
Not one, actually.
Everyone. All right. So Nom, you've got picture 5 as the next topic here. Do you want me to throw the photo up or do you want to just jump in?
Yeah. Well, so I mean, we're going to switch gears again back to Antifa in Portland, right? So this is not going away. So we're going to talk about Antifa for a little bit. So this is actually a very important, very serious deal here. So Andy No found on one of the Antifa blogs based out of Portland, which generally is the Rose City Antifa group, which is one of the oldest Antifa groups in the U.S. I believe they were founded in 2007, and I believe that the 2 original founders of Rose City Antifa have fled the country a couple of years ago to Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. So they're gone, and now they're running an international arm of Antifa. Well, Antifa in Portland is trying to get together a nice little fun game of laser tag on October 11th. So this coming Saturday. And what they mean by laser tag is they fully intend to try to down what they call cop copters, because they know that the Portland police and the FBI and DHS and maybe even National Guard have been flying helicopters around the area to try to track folks who are doing violent things. So what they're doing is they're putting a call out to all of their comrades to say, hey, leave your house, leave your phone at home, grab a laser, go somewhere out in the wild, and at I believe it's at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. We're all going to try to blind and take down and crash either a police or a federal helicopter into the ground. So that's they think that they're going to look. Yeah, well, it is. They're LARPing their way into a Black Hawk Down situation is what they're going to try to pull off on Saturday.
I mean, that's an act of war.
It is.
If you take down a military helicopter and you are a designated terror organization, how is that not an act of war?
Well, I'm not sure it's an active war, really,
They're
but
black
it's
box,
certainly
it is.
certainly it's a federal crime at many charges of federal crimes. Certainly.
Well,
So
isn't it a federal crime to even shine like a laser pointer at an aircraft?
it is.
So
In fact,
I would think pew pew shooting. Oh, we're not on TikTok. I would think
no.
that shooting at helicopters would be a huge thing. Also, they call them copters. They need to be a little bit more creative. I call them ghetto birds.
Yeah. Well, no. So these are not ghetto birds. These are trying to surveil Antifa birds. So they're copters. But and also they're not talking about like actually shooting them down with actual guns. They want to blind the pilots with the lasers so that they crash the helicopters. Is what they're trying to accomplish. Well, there's no difference. There's no difference. I mean at least the laser you can see where it's going. That way, when they shoot at a helicopter and they're missing by 100 yards because they're all freaking horrible shooters. So
I mean, I don't know what else to say. These people. So there was just a summit at the White House yesterday, and all the way up to the President of the United States, they were talking about this organization. And at the same time, you have an Antifa group in Portland organizing a mass effort to bring down a helicopter.
Yeah. So I mean, they don't seem to be very deterred at all, actually, because unless I'm mistaken, that was posted on that blog after that roundtable happened. So they don't seem to be too bothered, even a little bit, about what the federal government's doing.
Well, they're going to have a problem when National Guard shows up because it looks like the appellate court is going to go ahead and allow National Guard to come in. Based on the questions that the appellate court were asking today, it looks like they are going to allow National Guard to go in.
Well, they already stayed, the Judge Inger, whatever the hell her name is, they already stayed her 2 temporary restraining orders. They stayed the restraining order, but Trump had not ordered the National Guard in yet. So they basically said, we're just staying her order, but he can't move in yet.
She made one saying that they can't come in, and they didn't. That one wasn't ruled on yet, I don't think.
No one had challenged it yet. That's why it hadn't been ruled on yet.
These judges, we have to deal with these judges. The fact that the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals even has to hear this, considering their ruling back in June, is clearly an act of judicial insurrection.
And then you just had another judge in Illinois issue the same TRO on the same thing.
Except they extended
like the
it.
Third one.
They extended it to include all states. No states can go into Illinois, including Texas or any other state. No National Guard can come into Illinois. And
this is insurrection. And this is probably why Donald Trump, and I saw headlines on this and I don't think I grabbed it, is now formally talking about invoking the Insurrection Act. Just like we told you on Tuesday. We made the case on Tuesday that if he decides to do that, he is well justified to do it. And now, just today, the headlines are starting to come out that he is warning these governors and these local leaders that he will invoke the Insurrection Act if he has to.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to.
He's completely justified to do it. Yeah, he is.
And he's going to have to.
He's going to have to. Well,
judicial insurrection has to stop.
Here's why. Listen, everywhere that President Trump has sent the National Guard in and tried, whether it's to deal with crime or they've had a surge from federal agents, federal officers, everybody that talks the big game like Antifa does, and all the people that we see over on TikTok and X and Instagram saying that, we're going to get in the face, we're going to rip their masks off, we're coming, we're going to start shooting at you. They all run. They run. When there's a surge, they run. They're cowards. As soon as they're actually forced to, put up or shut up, they shut up and they run. Antifa will run. They'll go underground and they'll hide as long as the forces are there. And then when they leave, they'll come back out. That gives the federal government plenty of time to root them out, though, because they're actually now looking for them.
Well, not only are they looking for them, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is tracking their money. I mean, they aren't joking around with this organization anymore. I mean, you heard Donald Trump at the summit back on Tuesday. You heard him talk about designating them as a foreign terrorist organization because of Antifa International. But again, if I can just say this, I made a video about this. We're running out of time, so I think we want to touch on one more topic, and we'll move on from this here. I'm a little upset at the output of that summit that happened on Tuesday, because it totally missed what I think is the most important issue for the administration to be paying attention to. What you're seeing in the streets of Portland and Chicago is really just a fraction of the actual radicalization that's happening in this country. It is the people that are spilling out from social media. And we've been talking about this from the first day that we launched this podcast, and long before in our content for years at this point. The people that are spilling out into the streets of Portland and Chicago are coming from radicalized efforts from TikTok and from Steam and from Discord and from Twitch and from all of these platforms where these people are allowed to totally drive a radical agenda. A color revolution is happening in our country. It's happening primarily starting on social media, on TikTok. And the fact that that didn't even get mentioned on Tuesday, I think is a major, major problem. The Trump administration needs to deal with this. Donald Trump saved TikTok. TikTok would not be in existence in the United States today were it not for him. And there is a color revolution happening on that platform right now. Right now.
Yep. And they've got the color. It's actually purple. General Mike Flynn did a Substack article on it today. It's a purple revolution.
I have the video from when they were organizing and planning to use the color purple. I have that video. Yeah. I did content on this maybe a couple weeks ago. There was organizers for No Kings who were talking about the color that they wanted to organize their color revolution around, and they had a question from an audience member on their Zoom call who said, "We think that we should use the color purple." Now, the organizers at that time were like, "Well, we're thinking black and yellow maybe," but they settled on purple. And you know why they settled on purple? Because they think it represents America's coming together again. That's why they're settling.
Overthrow the Constitution. Let's do that. And let's bring everybody together by overthrowing the Constitution.
Because these people are so stinking delusional that they think that the majority of the American people agree with the ideology that says it's okay to assassinate somebody because you disagree with them. It's okay to shine lasers at helicopter pilots to bring down military aircraft. And it's okay to execute insurrections against the federal government, judicial insurrections at the state level, at the local level, in the streets. They actually think that they're going to create a purple America from that. That's their plan. These people are effing crazy. Effing crazy.
All right, let's move on to David Black. Let's move on to the pastor, the Antifa
I think we may have to shelve this one because I haven't spent any time looking at David Black yet. But we can.
But what about Letitia James?
I know we got to get to Letitia James.
Okay,
let's do Letitia James. So what Nom wants us to do is he wants us to take a look at a pastor who leads a church called the First Presbyterian Church of Lunacy out in Oregon somewhere, right?
No, it's going to take some time. Let's do Letitia. We'll get to the pastor later because he's going to be their next cause.
Christian Church of Lunacy.
Yeah, we'll come back to David Black and his Church of the Occult a little bit later after I have more opportunity to really investigate who that lunatic is and what he's talking about. All right, so we are on SOT 8. SOT 8. Let me get SOT 8 up here. Hey, did you guys know? I don't know if you know this or not, but nobody's above the law. Nobody
is above.
Nobody is above
Karma, man. She always comes around.
Oh, we're going to definitely sue. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president. We need to focus on Donald Trump. We need to follow his money. What is fueling my soul right now is Trump. This illegitimate president. I look forward to going into the office of Attorney General every day, suing him, and then going home.
I mean,
Mike Pence playing the piano.
That sounds like weaponization to me, doesn't it?
It does. It sounds political and personal, which she said in one of the videos I posted in there that it is definitely not political or personal, while she says he's an illegitimate president and all those things that Hillary Clinton and the Democrats said.
Well, we have some good news for you.
Yeah.
We have good news for you. Letitia James has been indicted.
Has been indicted by the federal government.
And you guys probably expected this.
Now it's an attack on the Constitution, by the way. Her indictment is an attack on the very fiber of the Constitution and on the very fabric of our country, by the way.
Yep. And it's for the same thing she went after Donald Trump for. There's 2 counts in there, and they're pretty serious.
Do you guys mind if I play a video of myself that I put out back in April about this topic?
I mean, this is the second Patriot Dad video.
I don't like to do it. I don't like to do it, but there is an effort to try to paint her indictment as Donald Trump weaponizing the Department of Justice, which, by the way, I'm okay with. I'm okay with Donald Trump weaponizing the Department of Justice to go after these absolute criminals. I'm okay with it. But nonetheless, I need to remind you guys of something that was said several months ago when this topic first came out, because this is not just a matter of somebody who accidentally took out a mortgage that she shouldn't have taken out at the exact same time that she was prosecuting Donald Trump for mortgage fraud. It's not that simple. This woman has led a life of financial crime going all the way back to the 1980s. Her first effort to try to defraud banks is when her and her father listed themselves as spouses on a mortgage so that they could get a better interest rate. She's been doing this her entire life, but this is much bigger than just a couple of mortgage documents that she claims that she might have messed up on. This is a bigger issue. So I'm going to remind you of why it's a bigger issue, if you don't mind. And I don't know if I could have said it better myself.
Accuse your enemy of what you're doing as you're doing it to create confusion. It's projection. And that's all they know. Just yesterday, we learned that a criminal referral was sent from the Department of Federal Housing to the Department of Justice on Letitia James. That's right. Letitia James, the Attorney General of the state of New York, who spent the last 4 years prosecuting Donald Trump for anything and everything under the sun. And as a matter of fact, at the exact same time that Letitia James was civilly prosecuting Donald Trump for what they claim was mortgage fraud, she was actively engaged in mortgage fraud herself, according to this criminal complaint. But more than that, this criminal complaint details a pattern of fraud going back all the way to 2001, including falsifying residency to be able to claim a primary residence in a state that she doesn't live, which, by the way, is a violation of New York law. If you're going to be an attorney general or an elected official in the state of New York, you're required to live in the state. And yet she purchased a property in Norfolk, Virginia, and claimed that that was going to be her primary residence for the purpose of securing a lower interest rate. And then the second claim in here details misrepresenting property descriptions, going all the way back to 2001, where she claimed that a 5-unit apartment complex was 4 units to make it a conventional loan for the purpose of securing lower down payment and a lower interest rate. So just to be clear, in 2022, Letitia James filed a civil suit against Donald Trump and secured a $450 million judgment against him, claiming that he defrauded banks by undervaluing Mar-a-Lago for the purpose of securing a better interest rate. And yet, she was doing the exact same thing. And she was doing it at the exact same time. She was literally prosecuting Donald Trump for the same thing at the exact same time. But I think Letitia James needs to answer a really important question. New York state law requires that you live in the state in order to be an elected official. And yet she purchased a home in Virginia. So is she even eligible to be the Attorney General of the state of New York, since she declared on financial documents that she was living in Virginia? So I guess, Madam James, no one is above the law, are they?
I only bring that up, well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, because it was one of the most succinct, and I hate to blow my own horn, but it was one of the most succinct recitations of the proof that's out there. I mean, and there is a mountain of evidence that she committed mortgage fraud multiple times. But the bigger problem that I have in this whole catastrophe is that she should not have even been sitting in the Attorney General's office anymore. State law in New York requires that you live in the state. And when she declared her primary residence in the state of Virginia, she should have had to vacate that office. So she was prosecuting Donald Trump, in my mind, illegally. Violating.
I mean, all of those, they were all illegal.
She was prosecuting Donald Trump illegally on several different things. I think she used New York State Executive Law 6312 or something like that for that case on all the real estate, the statements of financial condition. And it's always been used as a consumer protection law. It hasn't been used to go after the consumer.
It's not just Donald Trump. Every single defendant that went in front of her as the Attorney General in the state of New York, from the moment that she declared that home in Virginia as her primary residence, had their civil rights violated by an illegitimate, illegal Attorney General. And every single person who is affected by her leadership at the Attorney General's office should file a lawsuit against the state of New York right now. Every one of them. When she signed that mortgage document, said she lived in the state of Virginia, she should have been required to vacate her office according to current law in the state of New York. And every single person that was prosecuted by her has a case to sue the living bejeebies out of the state of New York. Every one of them.
All right, throw up picture 8.
All right.
Because this is rich. This is rich. After that recitation you just went through, and that was actually a really good video. It's probably one of your best ones you've done in a while.
What do you say? My videos lately haven't been good?
No, it was a really good one.
Okay.
Stop fighting, guys.
So this is what Letitia James had to say in February of 2024 when she was prosecuting President Trump. When powerful people cheat to get better loans, it comes at the expense of hardworking people. Everyday Americans cannot lie to a bank to get a mortgage. And if they did, our government would throw the book at them. There simply cannot be different rules for different people. That is Letitia James. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. This one's going down. I have a feeling that this woman is going down.
She knows she is. Play her statement. She's terrified. She's whispering. You saw her all excited yelling about going after Donald Trump. Now play her statement and see what a different attitude she has. She's like whispering. It looks AI. She looks weird.
Is it this one?
I think I titled it Letitia James Statement.
Oh, I see it. I think I'm going to bring up the wrong one. So we'll go.
Politics.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that. Shut up, Letitia. We don't care. We're going to find the actual one that we want to hear. And then we're going to have to wrap this up. I think we're going to have to make a concession, folks, here at Patriot Source Podcast. We're not going to be able to stick to an hour.
Hey, real quick, Boggs Clan. PatriotDad is 2 minutes older than me.
Yep. 2 minutes
on the Rumble chat.
Are people still asking that?
They were arguing about it. They're arguing about it.
People still tell me that until this podcast, they thought you guys were the same person. And I'm like, how? They don't even look alike. I mean, I think you look like brothers, but I don't think you look like the same person.
Eventually, people will know that there's two of us. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting there. Yeah. Why isn't this playing? Come on.
Continuation.
This is not a good tech day
of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. He is forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding, all because I did my job as the New York State Attorney General.
Yeah, but
these charges are baseless.
A legal Attorney General.
The president's own public statements make clear
were you
that his only goal is political retribution.
No, you
at
weren't.
any cost. The president's actions are a grave violation of our Constitution.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, I can't listen to that garbage. I mean, she did the exact same thing that she prosecuted President Trump for doing. It's in black and white. You can see the boxes that are checked in her signature. I mean, this is not a hard case to prove, like even a little bit.
No, and her attorney is Abby Lowell, the guy that represented Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna have to wrap it. I think we're gonna have to concede the fact that we're never gonna be able to stick to an hour. We're not gonna be able to do it. We could probably make a strong case to turn this into 2 hours at some point, but an hour is just not doable. But we've been pretty consistent at about an hour and 15. So I think going forward, we should just make an allowance for the fact that we're probably going to go to an hour and 15. Fair? All right.
Fair.
Folks, this was fun. We had a great time tonight. I apologize in advance or in reverse or whatever. I don't know. I apologize for the tech problems that we had today. This is what happens when you get signed up to sling hot dogs at a concession stand right before you're supposed to go live. But nonetheless, Patriot Lad and Patriot Mom always come first. So even though I threw a bit of a temper tantrum about it for the last couple of days, I was happy to spend the time with my family slinging hot dogs. Even my daughter was there. She runs the little iPad cash register. And it was funny. I'll share this quick story before we go out. That's all she does. Like, she won't do anything else. She and her brother, Patriot Lad, asked her, can I work the register? And she looked at him like, there ain't no effing way you're touching this register. And he never asked her again. Never asked her again. She won't go get, she won't get a Coke out of the thing. She won't go get nachos. She will not budge from that register. It is her job, and she absolutely loves it. So for an 11-year-old, she had fun. Anyway, all right, we're out. We'll see you guys again next time. I think this is the last week of soccer, so maybe we can open this up a little bit more. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we can do more than 2 days a week. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we're out. Thanks, guys. By the way, subscribe. We'll subscribe everywhere. All the channels.
And the punches and the riots have been flowing in only one direction for too long.
I've been trying to tell you guys this whole time how corrupt all of these things were, and here we are.
It is not our responsibility to fix something they spent years intentionally trying to destroy. Unity can only happen in a country when you have a people who agree on what the outcome should be.